So Ashes of Creation has turned into the Ashes of Uncreation, and everyone is angry, to put it lightly, and rightfully so. But going on about 14 years ago, we saw Square Enix shut down the original Final Fantasy XIV back in November of 2012. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I was only about a year out of high school, and I wasn't trying to pay for 2 subs back then, especially when WoW was getting ready to come out, with its goated MOP expansion. Which, funny enough, MOP Classic is where the classic WoW is at right now. However, I did try the game, and I enjoyed it very much, and that was on a potato laptop, and back when I was a clicker. Yes, I know, get it out of your system, point and laugh. Your boy was a clicker. Now, still to this day, I think WoW has the better movement, and that's personally why I prefer it over 14. But even with Final Fantasy's flaws off the rip, because it was far from perfect, I was hooked and would totally have played it up until it shut down, and I would still keep on playing it if it was free to play. But sadly, the MMO genre has been dying for a while now. And with the death of AOC and the unlikelihood of a Final Fantasy XIV type restoration, it's not looking promising. And this is going to be ugly with this Ashes situation for quite a while, because as stated on their official Kickstarter page, that all backers will be refunded in full upon the game not releasing. And I personally think that's why they went ahead and did the Steam launch, because we already know for a fact with everything that's come out recently that they were screwed, that the Steam launch was going to fail. I think they did that to try to get one last cash grab, and then to ride off into the sunset, and also a very sad attempt to try and maybe make Valve accountable for any and all refunds through that. But I'm not here to complain about stuff we already know. I would like to personally list a few things that I think would make the game better, in the minuscule chance another studio comes along and buys the IP. Number 1, don't make the game require you to spend all day on it as like it's a full-time job, as well as requiring you to sacrifice your firstborn son to succeed in the game. Now, the max level grind is always fun for the first time, don't get me wrong, but that was beyond awful, and that wasn't even the true final level. I think the final level would have been like around level 50 if the game would have released. But I would say original classic WoW probably had the best balance of all aspects when it came to leveling. Number 2, you gotta appeal to the next generation of players as well. Not everyone are a bunch of old farts like we are, and you can't survive on the nostalgia factor alone. I'm looking at you, Blizzard. We can only keep on playing and rehashing the same old expansions over, so many times before it gets old. I mean, it's already old, but I digress. But yeah, I personally knew this game would fail after getting my hands on it. Because of the, it was just appealing to, that one type of audience, and that just wasn't going to cut it. And especially when you take all the worst parts of old MMOs and put them all into one, just isn't the way. Which will lead me to my next point. Quality of life improvements. It was not just the leveling speed that made it miserable. We need some form of fast travel, like, flight points in original WoW. Because most of the time was spent playing Mount Riding Simulator. And I know how much everybody loves doing that. But I know there's a few of you that actually like that. I respect it. But, we're in 2026, bro. Like, we ain't trying to have that. We need the right balance of solo and group content. You can't put hardly any soloable quests in the game and then expect people to go into groups and get in the non-instance dungeons, by the way, in order to succeed. That was the biggest griefing I've ever seen, and I think I would rather watch paint dry while also being stuck in a room, strapped to a chair, forced to beat the the Soulsborne games naked until I was able to do it. Also, in regards to the solo versus group thing, I think the mobs should, be like normal, elite, and then, you got your boss enemies eventually down the line. Not these, I think it was 1 to 3 star level of monsters that they had. Just keep things simple. If it's not broken, don't fix it. I'd also say it needs a normal inventory / bank system, and not this like inventory per settlement thing they had going on. I get what they were going for, but once again, that only appeals to a small amount of people. Also, another thing would be making the game alt-friendly. I'm not saying make it to where you can hit max level in one day like Modern WoW, but maybe a double XP for your alts upon hitting max level, or a double XP event, or whatever, for all us altaholics out there. And I know I praised Final Fantasy XIV a lot before, but one thing I'm definitely not a fan of is having one character be able to do it all, because pretty much just no point. I mean, there's like a very small point, apparently, of having alts in Final Fantasy XIV, but literally one character can do all the jobs. And I personally just don't think that's fun. I know, but my name is Sagestone, and I'm an altaholic. WoW ain't got nothing on Final Fantasy XIV in the graphics department. But it does kick its teeth in with its buttery smooth movement, which is the last thing I would say with the quality of life, the prio of that FPS and that movement fluidity over the graphics quality. And my last point, I'm sure I can think of a lot of other things I would like to say, but I don't want this video going on for 10,000 years. Develop an amazing world with an amazing story, just without the politics. You guys at Intrepid Studios did succeed in one department of dethroning WoW, and that was the toxicity of the fan base. And in that short amount of time of early access that my friends and I played with WoW for a little bit, got to play, I've already seen some bridges burned, and to the point where people don't want to play with each other anymore. Or worse, they don't even want to be in the same Discord room with certain people. And that's just not fun, man. A game should not, bring out the toxicity in everybody. But those were just a few ideas I personally had. Let me know down in the comments of potential ideas you think would make the game great upon it potentially rising from the ashes. And I will catch you all in the next one.